Odofo, breaking news case here pan abeto dwa so beginning nyina brem ewo Ghanatube. Odofo, sisi a Kenufo-Atta ne ho atonana, sisi an oye free man ana Odofo, yesi endendendendendende ya se uhu Kenufo-Atta ana police fo ehu Kenufo-Atta omuntumi enche no. Odofo adenti a eye OSP no ehwehwe Kenufo-Atta dendendenden asisi anu yesi amanfo hu Kenufo-Atta wa abontin se police fo se Interpol hwan omuhu Kenufo-Atta wa abontin a obi antumi nche no entisi anu aden Kenufo-Atta ise oye free man ana ne ho atonana omuntumi prosecute ni biomu ana omuntumi nche ni biomu ana tisi anu oye free man ana Odofo breaking news case here pan abeto dwa so beginning nyina bro efa Kenufo-Atta chese ni wanted list case here pan abeto dwa OSP edition dendenden sisi an oye free man ana yesi an Kenufo-Atta yehuna yentumi nchi ni bi Odofo umayenko ne ekwaje tanse mu nyina nchi mu Ghanatube ma isia.
Currently there is let's call it legal proceedings at Interpol. So they have a unit responsible for this, so it's practically like a court on its own. So OSP, or let's say Ofori-Atta against OSP. So you file, the Ofori-Atta is complaining that there's no basis to have him on the Interpol red alert, blah, blah, blah. Then OSP says, no, there is. They say, okay, each of you file your case. They've done, then there are responses. So if you read the procedure, it's practical, there's going to be a decision. So judicial, well, okay, it's administrative, since it's not a court. Some administrative proceedings in there, so they'll go through each part to argue their case, present what evidence they have. Then at the end of the day, the committee would come to a decision on it. So if they come to a decision that yes, Ofori-Atta's name should be fully restored, it will be done. If they come to a decision that there is no basis, then his name will be taken up. So really, and when I say his name will be taken up, let me correct this, because OSP is very particular about it. It's not as if his name is totally off the system. As what it means that right now is restricted. You and I can't see it as Ofori-Atta, but the value is the same. Basic thing is that he's no longer a person that if any Interpol member saw today, they can arrest. That's the real point, because once he remained on the list, and when we say Interpol, so Interpol is what? Police organizations around the world. So the countries that have joined, over 100, right? So that means that once he's on the red notice alert, it means that if he was found in Togo, they could arrest him. If he was found in the US, they could arrest him. So now with what has happened with this decision to restrict him, so it means that if they found him today, they will not arrest him. That's the most important thing.
I see.
Yes.
So if he is seen today,
yes,
to the extent that
yes, he's been removed, restricted. We are using effective communication. The key thing is, what is the effect of what has been done? The main effect is that he will not be arrested. So
if
whether
you today,
yes. So whether you call it removal or what do you call it, restriction, the key thing is that would he be arrested today if he's found? No. And now let's situate this. So it's not really about the Interpol red notice. So what it does is to like blacklisting. Okay, so it's something, there's some effect in a blacklisting. But if you look at what Ghanaians have been looking for, which is that he must come back to Ghana, that one is a long shot. Long shot, because even if he's arrested today, he will not be automatically brought to Ghana today or tomorrow. No. You see the extradition that the Attorney General is working on, that is what has to be granted. You know, they will do it, send it to the US government. Then the US government will go through it, the Home Department, blah, blah, they look at it. Then they will go to court. So eventually there will be court proceedings in the US, because Ofori-Atta will contest his return to Ghana, right? And so it's not today or tomorrow. And you see why every day I'm pained, and I keep saying that. So the man who allowed Ofori-Atta to escape, that's Kisie Jabe, has to leave the office immediately, because he's fueling the suspicion that they colluded. Let me tell you something. You know how this world works. Because people want justice in this case, I've been given credible information that all this while in January, when we started saying that, look, if Ofori-Atta is not coming, then let's take steps to do trial and absentia so that we can confiscate his properties, etc. And it wasn't done, they delayed. It turns out that in the interim, Ofori-Atta is trying to get permanent residence in the US.
You got this information from where?
Oh, you know, this work we do, if I had to disclose all my sources would dry up.
You say it's credible.
Yes, credible. Yeah, but I have to keep citizen journalism. I have the right to keep them. So right now, the key thing is that, and that's why it's even irking me more. So as OSP was doing Kukwasa, Ofori through one of his sons has applied for him to get permanent residence in the US.
I see. And
so
this,
that
and this
complicates his return.
I see. This you are able to prove. Sorry? You're able to prove because this is from a credible source.
Yes.
So you have enough information to prove that indeed he has applied to get permanent.
Oh, no, they will release it. But I look at where the source is coming from. I believed it. And of course, if push comes to shove, we'll go into the US system. That at least is there. This okay? We'll do a request, RTI request to the Homeland Security and the Home Department, the US. So the key thing is that as we're here from January, we started asking for trial in absentia. OSP came and were giving us ludicrous answers that no, you cannot do trial in absentia. 11 months only to do a U-turn. So then if it was a suspicion, the analysts are like, oh, so when they deny trial in absentia, so that it gives Ofori enough opportunity to get permanent residence.
They're going to court on Monday.
Yes.
The fugitives, as has been described, they are not in the country, obviously. So the trial is going to go on.
Yes.
What's going to happen on Monday is they're going to hear them.
Yes, but the fact
that will be in the absence of Ofori.
Preliminary
Does that amount
matters
to a trial in absentia?
Yes, the trial is, let's say this, before the trial in absentia will be done, Article 19, Clause 3 requires that the OSP will prove to the court that Ofori has been notified. The very thing we have been talking about. As to how they do the notification, Monday will come, then we'll see. If they've done it, fine. But if they've not, then it means that for Ofori and Esakori, his chef de cabinet, or is it chief de cabinet, his PA, let's use the simple term, his PA, the trial for them will not go on if there is no proof, cogent proof that they've been notified. Because let's read 19 clause 3. It says that he has to be notified. So if the accused is notified of the trial and he doesn't come, then that's when the court will go on. But please, that technical term, well, in this case, I would say technical because it's not cheap. Notification, that's what OSP has to prove to the court. And this is what lawyer Tadiosori had been saying from day one. You know, Tadiosori was one of the first to say, let's do trial in absentia. In January, when this matter came, if you check the records, I think for me, in reading commentary on this matter, lawyer Tadiosori was the first to ask for trial in absentia. Then later, all of us joined. Me, initially, we thought, oh, he would come. And, but it turned out that at least some of us converted far earlier and joined Tadiosori in asking for trial in absentia. And OSP kept stonewalling. Whilst Ofori is taking steps to get better residence in the US so that his coming here will be more complex. And don't forget that he has huge investments in the US. Huge investment. And the American government will not lightly throw him under the bus. So you have to be very careful. This is a political decision. Look, at a point, after Kissi Ejabe is left, later in our series to get justice, we may have to organize a demonstration to go to the US embassy and present a petition. That's what we have to do. We have to mobilize Ghanaians after Kissi Ejabe is left, because that's the first point. We can't trust Kissi Ejabe to do this work because he saw Ofori leave. He saw the letter. I'm happy Professor Jampo is here. Please, Mr. Okansi, when he gets to his side, let him explain the political theory of the state. How, when I keep saying, when I quote the constitutional provisions and I show that under the constitution, Kissi Ejabe had a mandatory duty to inform Ghanaians once he saw Ofori was leaving, and he alleges that the other.
So you expect that you address a press conference?
Exactly. So I want Professor Jampo from the governance experts to come. And there's also governance. Let all the governance experts weigh in. Then we see that it's a serious constitutional matter.
You see, in this instance, I'll come to you. I'm sorry. But his lawyers are saying that he has not been formally served.
Order for when a breaking news a bit to Jack. Hey, can Ofori you see an a free man and yes, in the back, bear my air file, a man, US, sell bay a US citizen. odofo kenoforiata ne nsem no na edeja sisi a ne si yi ne din efisa Interpol fo omo red notice no yeyi anase red list no yeyi din efiso enti sisi a no Interpol ni bie ni ho a police ni bie ni obetumi achi kenoforiata oye Interpol police ni o se wo info across the world no kenoforiata untumi nche because sisi yi ne din efi red list ne so disi ane de uhuna untumi nche no yesi kenoforiata obi eni ho obetumi achi ne biom until further notice of OSP kra ehun ndendendende ya untumi nchi kenoforiata because US mrano one way or the other born ho ban kakra dofo we na amanfo bebre na aka disi ane kenoforiata o free man na odofo when a breaking news abeto dwa me so begin nyina brew wo Ghanatube concerning kenoforiata ne court case odofo wamre fi sembe like no ma subscribe no ma share no ma hit notification bell so man say ne be ya abrini abibia topic content say ya wo wonya ne tempa no wa hwe wetin odofo aha ana me de sem nyina besi Ghanatube so makra mu nyina medam nyina se bebre